Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your December 2024 tarot card reading. Before we get started, I just wanted to quickly remind you that 2025 is right around the corner. And if you're interested in sitting down with me one-on-one to kind of talk about the upcoming year, we'll pull tarot cards. We'll take a look at all the really important transits that are coming up for you. You're more than welcome to book that session, which is in the description box in the comment thread down below. Want to probably get that on the books before the new year begins so you can kind of enter 2025 totally prepared for what might come. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and see what comes through, Aquarius. What is it that you need to know for December 2024? All right, we have a card that says happiness, which probably means you're going to be prioritizing the things that bring you joy in your life. It's always a wonderful message to receive. Or if you're not prioritizing it, this is definitely a time that you should be prioritizing it. Not to say that everything has to be exactly perfect or that everything has to kind of keep you really, really high up on that happiness scale. I think this kind of happiness is a little bit more rooted in your authenticity, rooted in you just kind of being in your element, doing what you do that naturally comes best, being with the people that make you laugh, that bring you joy, and a kind of not being overly stressed by complications, because obviously it's still life, so there will be complications, but I don't see you getting bogged down by those things, okay? So let's see what comes through with the animal spirit card. What is it that Aquarius needs to know for December? Be fearless and bold. It seems like you're following some kind of intuitive path right now. It feels like you are taking some chances and that there is a lot of joy in those chances. Maybe you're taking a big leap. I'm kind of seeing these dolphins, kind of jumping up out of the water. It kind of feels like you're maybe getting out of your comfort zone a little bit with something. But I think you're ready for that. It's like, yeah, it's big, and yeah, it's scary, and yeah, maybe it's a lot, but when you're ready, you're ready. And I think right now you just simply are ready. And there's really nothing to hold you back whatsoever. So, I mean, sorry, I'm hesitating. I know, I'm sorry, I'm talking so slow. I'm feeling the fear, right? But this says be fearless. So even though fear comes out, fear comes up, I think you're going to be doing a lot of things in spite of that fear anyway. And that's what's going to make you happy. That's what's going to bring joy is when you do these really hard things and you actually achieve them, right? You go after them. They're hard. They're difficult. They challenge you. You achieve them. You attain them. And you're going to be like, wow, I can do it. I can do it. I know I can do it. I think there's going to be a lot of kind of patting yourself on the back this month. I think you'll make yourself really proud. Okay, so we have the World, we have Death, and we have the Nine of Wands. We know the World. I mean, that's been a card pretty much all year. I think it has a lot to do with the Pluto coming into your sign. Now Pluto is officially in your sign. Things are going to start changing. The thing I like about the World card, it is pretty neutral, and it doesn't always necessarily come accompanied with big events. It's like change just for the sake of change, but it doesn't always mean everything around you is falling apart. I think priorities are changing for you. I think your focus is changing. It feels like you are ready to cross some kind of a threshold, as though you've sort of earned your place at some type of a table. It feels like a peaceful transition, though. Even with the Death card right next to it. And I'm not saying everything is perfectly in order in your life. In fact, there might actually be, some degree of chaos. It is Pluto and Aquarius after all, some degree of revolutionary chaos in your life, but you remain stable. You remain at peace. You remain serene, I think, with a lot of the changes. To me, this feels like this is what happens when a fixed sign like Aquarius decides to go with the flow. when you decide to kind of break a pattern, break a habit, and change your life. This is what happens when a fixed sign decides to move mountains. There's a lot going on probably, but you remain completely unfazed. You remain in your happiness here. There does seem to be some kind of fundamental change. It's almost as though some type of switch has flipped on or off. Some type of switch has flipped, either way. And you just have become a different person with that death card. It's like this deep internal metamorphosis. And the things that have restricted you in the past simply no longer do. And I think in a lot of ways, it's almost inexplicable. Like you couldn't explain it even if you tried. Why are you ready now when you weren't ready 6 months ago? I don't know. I just am now, right? I don't know. I just feel like I can handle it now. I can deal with it better now. I'm ready to say goodbye now, or I'm ready to embrace it now. I'm ready for the responsibility now. Why not before? I don't know, but I am now, so I'm just going to go for it. And I'm looking at this Nine of Wands, and I'm seeing you really protective of your peace. You're really protective of your happiness. You're protective of these choices. Because when you are being fearless and bold, you can't have interruptions. You can't have temptations. You can't have people and opinions and their ideas and their convoluted concepts and perceptions interjecting and intercepting your path. You simply cannot have it. So I am seeing you going a little bit private, but I don't know, this privacy doesn't feel like isolation, and it doesn't feel like you're pulling away from the world at large. It's more like you're pulling away from the things that you know are going to contradict what you're doing and moving toward the things that are aligned with what you're doing. So while this is kind of a hard and fast boundary, it doesn't mean everything is being kept out. In fact, there are a lot of things that you are letting in. But with the things that do need to be kept out, you are standing firm and saying, no, I'm not letting you in. And this might be as simple as not sharing your business with other people. Even for some of you, maybe certain relationships are changing. Maybe your relationships with your siblings or your best friends or your parents or, your trusted colleagues or whatever, where 6 months ago, a year ago, maybe you would have told them what was going on. And now you're like, I don't really know. I don't know that I should. I don't know that that's best for me. I don't know that they're on the same track. I don't know that they'll be happy for me, and so I just want to keep this to myself for right now. But it does seem like Aquarius is making big moves behind the scenes very quietly. And you're certainly crossing this threshold here with this World card. So we get the Seven of Cups, we have the King of Cups, and we have Justice. All right. Seven of Cups really aligns with this Neptune stationing direct, which is happening on the 7th. And I think as Neptune turns around, there's going to be just a short period of time, like maybe a few days, where that Neptunian energy sort of creeps in and we start to have doubts. We start to look at other options. We start to kind of get a little bit hazy or fuzzy on things where we're not as direct as we were just coming into December. And so this is temporary, this Seven of Cups, okay? We really do not want to be making big, bold decisions during Seven of Cups times, which is when we have, all these options and we don't know which one is best, okay? This is just going to be like, take a few days to sleep on it, and then you can come back maybe on the 15th when we have the Mercury retrograde. We've got Mercury stationing direct on the 15th, same day as the full moon in Gemini. So we've got a lot of mercurial energy on that 15th. And I think at that time, we will be better suited to actually, make some bold, right? Those fearless and bold decisions. Mercury will kind of egg us on a little bit. But I think in between the 7th and the 15th, there will be a few days where that Neptunian energy creeps in and says, we're not really sure. We're not really as committed as we thought we were. I mean, we are, but this is just sort of some adversarial creeping up, and it's kind of confusing things. This is yet another reason why you don't want to convolute things even more by inviting people into this process that really should not be invited in. Because if you start inviting people in who have opposite opinions, and I'm not saying you have to be in an echo chamber where everyone agrees with you. I'm not saying that. But we all know that, there are people who might pretend to be happy for us, but then kind of have ill wishes behind our back. Or there might be people that, get jealous by your progress or by your new relationship or by the amount of money that you're earning or something. And so you want to be very selective, with the information that you share, because if there's any kind of negative energy that comes in, it's going to kind of amplify the confusion here, which this is not real. This confusion is just sort of a deceptive moment where we just kind of get in our own heads a little bit, but it quickly resolves with this King of Cups. This is why I'm saying just take a few days to sleep on it, 1 night, 2 nights, whatever, before making any bold and rash decisions. The King of Cups is a really emotionally stable and secure person. So yes, there can be chaos going on around, but he's not really involved in it. And he's certainly not going to let the chaos emotionally manipulate him. And that's the thing with the 7 of Cups, is that we're more susceptible to emotional manipulation here. And that's clearly not the goal, right? We're clearly not wanting to be emotionally cajoled, all right? The King of Cups is also focused. He has a laser sharp focus. So this is where we kind of regroup and we sort of regather ourselves, we regather our thoughts, and we get back on track. Because you were on track at the beginning of December. You were already there. And this little moment, it's not really ruining anything. It's just probably astrological. All right. I like the Justice card. The Justice card seems to be coming out quite a bit this month. Feels like the pendulum is finally swinging. And I think this also has a lot to do with Pluto in your sign as well, where there was a lot of restriction with Pluto in Capricorn, even though he was only in Capricorn for a few months throughout 2024. There was a lot of stuff from our past that we had to contend with, we had to eliminate, we had to get rid of, we had to say goodbye to. And now that we have done that, hopefully we have done that. And now that pendulum can start to swing in a positive direction and it can start to work in our favor. You do seem to be aligned to things that are in your favor right now. Okay, so I don't know that you should have doubt. That's why this doubt, it's like the doubt itself is the deception. Okay, so we need to be very, very careful of doubts and realize that the doubts are not actually real. And you may write it off as saying, oh, well, I'm just trying to be smart. I'm just trying to be cautious. I'm just trying to think everything through. I'm just trying to, make sure I don't make mistakes. And you may rationalize it in that way. But ultimately, the conclusion is, oh, well, I was right all along, and these doubts don't really have any merit. Okay? So the pendulum is going to start to swing, and more than likely, it will start to swing in your favor. I'm kind of seeing something relational with this Justice card too. There might be some kind of a commitment or legal contract that you are coming into. There might be another person involved, and it feels well balanced with justice. It feels equal. And I think establishing a contract where there is equal benefit is going to be good and be in alignment with your happiness as well. See, 10 of coins, exactly. You are going to have to put up a little bit of a fight for what you want. Now, there is a little bit of a go with the flow going on, but that go with the flow does not mean that you sit back and do absolutely nothing. There will come a point as we enter Capricorn season at the end of December where you are going to be asked to really put effort and into it. And there may even be that tendency to want to defend what you're doing. But see, whatever this contract or whatever this coming into balance, whatever this, agreement is, it does seem to be leading you somewhere quite profitable or lucrative, or there's some kind of extraordinary benefit there, both materialistically and emotionally, I would say. There's definitely a lot of security. You're certainly moving yourself into a position where you are secure, where you are safe, where you have, 2 feet on solid ground. It's not slippery here. This is certainly something worth defending. I kind of am seeing you in the defensive mode a little bit. Like, you have to defend your life. You have to fight for what you want. You have to be the one that stands up at the front of the line and says, this is my life and these are my choices. And no matter what anyone else says, this is what I'm doing. And you may have to be a little bit rebellious, because it's possible that you are going against the grain with a lot of this, which is why you're trying to keep people out in the first place, because you know that some of your choices are either not going to be well received, or people are going to be against it, or they're going to try to warn you of stuff that's not necessarily real. Because what's happening is people's opinions and ideas and perspectives are coming from their own life experience. Now, I'm not saying that's entirely invalid. It's just that it is also just a projection, and you're going to need to understand that it's just a projection and kind of take everything with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, this is your life. This is your happiness. This is your dream at stake. No one else has to live this life. And I see you defending this proudly, fearlessly, boldly, right? I see you doing this, and I see you having a great deal of peace of mind while doing it. So yeah, there might be a little bit of pushback from the world. The world might be pushing back against you a little bit. But you're in a different place. You are a different person. Clearly, the world with the death card, you're just not who you used to be. Even a few months ago. Even 2 months ago with Pluto still in Capricorn, right? Maybe you really are in a completely different mindset, in a completely different stage of life. You've crossed the threshold, so you don't have to answer to anybody. It's not your responsibility, All right, there's probably going to be a lot to unpack here. So we're going to pull out the clarifiers. We're going to open up all these cards. We're going to pull out another 27 cards. We're going to get really deep in the comprehensive reading. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome to do that. All the info is in the description box in the comment thread down below. So we're going to start by clarifying and opening up this world card. So what else does Aquarius need to know for the world as they make their way through December? We have the Magician. We have the Six of Cups and another Justice card. It's inevitable. Crossing that threshold was an inevitability for you. Nine of Cups, another King of Cups, and a Three of Coins. Beautiful King of Coins. Strength and Six of Swords. There's the Chaos, Five of Wands, Ace of Coins, Four of Swords. Ooh, a king on top of a king. A lot of king energy. You're coming out quite masculine, which I love. We've got a queen here. Queen feels like someone else. I feel like you're really stepping into the more masculine role. We have an Empress. We have a Page and a Seven of Coins, Ten of Wands, Six of Wands, and a Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful. Wheel of Fortune on a Ten of Coins. Knight of Swords, another Death card in line with the Death card up here, and a Page of Wands. And Chariot, Two of Cups, and Three of Cups. Beautiful. All right, Aquarius, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Again, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes probably about all these cards. So we're going to get a lot more detail that comes out. So I'll see you either there or next month. Hope you all have an amazing December, and I'll talk to you soon.